Welcome. Chris here with the trades. Going to go over six stocks that I'm looking at for the week ahead. These are swing trades long that I'm interested in for next week based on where the chart and where the stocks ended at the end of last week. Looking for stocks that have good fundamentals, look strong, look like they're good for long-term holds, long-term investments, and then I'm looking for a relaxing of the price to come back down to some natural level of support for an entry. So right now, looking at the market, this is SPY. Uh, a red candle on Friday from highs. I'd like to see where we open up on Monday on this one. I do trade SPY a little bit. Let me zoom in a little here. Previous close, I'd like to see if it wants to open below previous close, I'd like to see it kind of run down into this 9 EMA here, where they've got the purple line. That's the 9 for bounce back up into the previous close and potentially a roll back over and a continuation downward. I'd be interested to see that if it opens below previous close, natural level of support. Opens above that on the market, I'd be looking to see it maybe pull back into the previous close or move back up. So if then kind of a situation. If we open below, we do that. If we open above, we do the other. So see where we open on Monday on SPY. This is the market just to get a good sense as to where the market is at the moment. But the first one on my list that I'm looking at, NNBR. NNBR is a stock that I'm interested in as it appears to be on an uptrend, has good fundamentals based on my analysis, and the stochastic is nice and low, and that's what I'm looking to see. I'm looking to see a strong stock that's that's got price that's moved back down for an entry because I'm not going to go chasing after a breakout. I'm not going to go chasing after a breakdown. I want to see a strong stock that's got good momentum and price coming down into a natural level of support where I can get the entry. So on this one for risk, it's pretty wide actually. Down to this level, it's about 12, 13, 14% even. So I'm going to be scaling in slowly on this one if it wants to keep coming back down. Now this makes sense because we've got a wick back here. So that's kind of creating a level of support where it wicked. So that's probably why this chart is organized and laid out the way it is. So I'm going to be a buyer into this range, see where we open, of course, on Monday. If it gaps up, I'm not interested. And that's the case for all of these. If it gaps up, I'm not interested in that. I want to see a flat or a continuation down into this, whatever this level of support is on the chart for the move back up. And obviously, if it wants to take those moves, we got a nice big range here up into highs is 30%. I'd be looking to take profits on the way up at these particular instances where we've got some wicks here and some volume here, and then of course the greedy target up to the top. So that's NNBR. Also on the list is AMAL. Okay, another strong stock. It's got a nice momentum. It's been moving up. It's come down into this level of support here. I traded this one as well. I was interested in this divergence back here. I got the entry, took some profits, and then closed my position out here up at this range. So we're going to see what it wants to do on this one. I'm going to be, the risk is pretty tight, right? If it's going to move, it might move up pretty quick from here. But just based on what this chart is telling me, I'm going to be a buyer probably down into this range, 8 or 9%, just based on this huge wicking candle and the volume back here in this level. Probably have to wait and give it to that range before I stop out completely. But I'd like to see it move pretty quick. I'd like to see it find some support right here and move back up for the move and the continuation. Be taking profits up into the 5% range, up into these highs from back in February, and greedy target up into these most recent highs. So that is AMAL. Also on the list is ACGL. ACGL. Again, this has kind of been all over the place. Been sort of trying to break structure and not really doing it, but still it's looking like an uptrend to me. And this stock has strong fundamentals and it looks good for long-term hold. So I'm looking for an entry, and this would be what it would be. It would be when the price comes down into these levels of support where we had these lows back here and bounced. It's sort of kind of messing around here. So it really could go either way, but this is what the chart is telling me. It's a nice risk profile down to this range here, 3%. Stochastic is still kind of hanging around at the low level. It's probably due to move up at some point here, and it could potentially be to this week. Be looking to see if it wants to break this sort of trend. As you can see, this natural trend here on these candles. If it wants to break out of that, that would be a good sign, and I'd be looking to hold for the continuation and the move back up into the 4 or 5% range on this one. Okay, so also on the list is Rider Systems. Rider is a nice strong stock as well. Stochastic is down at the low level here, sort of breaking through, and it would indicate to me that we've found some support here back at this wick, back where it's found some support most recently as well. Be looking to see if it wants to continue and make that move back up. Where we open from Friday, we'll see on Monday. But I'd be a buyer down into this range here, 5, 6%, and looking for the move back up into the 5, 6, 7, 10% range as well. All right. So also on the list is TX. TX, I like this one. Broke structure, moved up, coming back down into this level of support. Nice little wick candle here. It would indicate to me that the momentum on the upside seems like a good potential. Stochastic is down at the low end of this band. So this is what I'm looking for. Let's see where we open on Monday. Risk from Friday's close down to this 3 or 4% range is real nice. Probably be a buyer into about the 5% range. Looking for the move, try to close these gaps. And as we do, I'd be taking profits. Of course, if it wants to get up into these recent highs here, 15%, that'd be fantastic. So seeing where we open on Monday. And finally, I'm looking at URA. This is the uranium ETF. It's come straight back down into this level of support. Stochastic, obviously, at the bottom here. It could easily just keep running down, like all of these. You never really know. Of course, you're just trying to make the best educated guess, I suppose, for lack of a better word, or assessment based on what the chart's saying. So risk down into this level here, about 3%. I'd probably give it down to this low range here. That's a 10% move. That'd be a long way to hold. That's probably what you'd have to do before you stop out completely. At least that's the way I would play it. But I'm looking for the move back up. Uranium. I mean, this seems like a rare earth that's in demand. So on any kind of weakness with a strong chart, and a pullback, I'm interested. So be looking to take these profits up into this range here, fill this gap. That's 5%, and then if it wants to keep running up into these highs, where it double topped 17%. So another opportunity. In fact, it's an incredibly volatile market here, and with the volatility comes opportunity. Just got to know what to look for and make the best assessment based on the chart and trade your plan. Happy trading.